Welcome back to my channel, Higher Thinking with Valerie You. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm glad that you're here. So let's get right into this message. It's going to be very short. I wanted to talk about divine justice and divine timing. And when it comes to divine timing, this is where faith takes its role, okay? And I'm not talking about faith in the way that religion talks about faith, although I am talking about it in the same type of concept, right? We're not having faith in a sky god that's a man that is watching us and going to punish us. I'm not talking about faith in something like that. I'm talking about faith in yourself and in your life, right? That every single day that you live, every single choice that you make and decision and step that you take towards your dreams or towards your life, or every decision you make when it comes to challenges in your life, faith that everything that you do is leading you to exactly what is meant for you. And there's actually this tarot reader that I watch on YouTube. Her name is Baba Jolie Tarot Guided Messages. That's what the whole thing, her channel's called. And she says a saying that I really love. And she says, what's meant for you will never pass you by. And that really is something that I am etching on my heart, because I truly believe that. And that is where divine timing takes its place. Divine timing is something that is out of our hands. It is just our responsibility and our job as human beings to take the steps and make the choices, right, that we feel aligned and inspired to make towards what we're working towards. And divine timing comes in divine timing. Divine means something bigger than us, something greater than us is playing a role, whether it's, God as in the higher energy, your angels, spirit guides, guardian angels. I said angels twice. Guardian angels, those could be two different things depending. But my point is that something bigger than you is in play now, intervening and bringing in this thing that you, person, place, or thing that you are finally ready for. And of course, we can't forget, with divine timing goes, of course, matching, right? What happens when it comes to divine timing is your vibration, your energy is matching, right? Finally, this thing that the divine can finally bring into your life now that you're finally at a place where it is time. And it makes me think of Lion King. It is time. And then he's like that very like musical, and he's like going up the Pride Rock. I'm thinking of that music right now. I gotta show you guys the image. I'll look it up and I'll put it on here, the image. But how does that sound go? It's like, it just sounds really good. It sounds really good. It's like very like emotional. Anyway, so he gets to the top of the rock and he roars. And anyway, so it's his time. So that's divine timing, right? After all that Simba went through, it was finally time for him to take his place as the king. But he had to go through the things that he had to go through. And that's when we're talking about divine justice, right? It's all gonna play out the way these trials and these, I don't like the word trials, these challenges that we go through, that we face, they are for our highest good, even if it doesn't feel that way. It's all about how you handle it, right? I like to think of handling challenges with grace, and that's harder than it sounds. It sounds nice, but it's not very easy to handle situations with grace. Some challenges are more triggering and provoking than others. So, with that being said, you guys, you're going to know. You're going to know when divine timing is happening, because things are going to start falling into place. Opportunities and people, places, and things are going to start magnetizing into your life. And then when it comes to divine justice is when you finally understand, when you finally come to an understanding of why you went through the things that you went through. Because sometimes we make really difficult choices. I've had to make really difficult choices that other people couldn't understand because they weren't in my shoes. And they would be like, well, why would you make that choice? That seems like the dumb choice, or that seems like the wrong choice. Well, you're not in my shoes. You weren't living my experience. So divine justice is when you finally get the peace and the clarity of, yes, I did make the right choice. Because if I had not made that choice, I wouldn't be where I'm at now, that aligned me with the opportunities, the people, places, and things that I have now that are coming in. The opportunities that are coming in now would not have came in if divine justice wasn't playing a part, where it's like, wow, if I had never made that choice 2-3 years ago, I would have not been here. All right, I would have been somewhere else. I would have been in my other timeline, right? Because we're apparently, according to quantum physics, we're multidimensional beings, so we are living multiple realities all at the same time. Dolores Cannon said that we are literally living in those parallel realities, different lives of the different choices, right? So let's say, for example, someone asks you, will you marry me? And you say yes. So there is a reality where you are living, right, where you're married to that person, and there is a reality where you said no and you're not living with that person. Okay? And you could merge into the reality where you're not married to that person if down the road in that marriage you guys end up separating, and then you somehow merge into that world where you weren't with that person. All of a sudden your life looks a lot different, right? So that sounds really crazy, but for those that understand, you have to really understand quantum physics, because otherwise it's going to sound crazy. But I hope that this is just reaching people that actually understand me. But anyway, so with all that being said, you guys, all right, you have to understand, I think the biggest thing for us humans that I myself am coming to an understanding of is that divine justice and divine timing can take years. Thinking about Michael Jackson, I feel like he didn't get his divine justice until this century now, right? 2026 with this Michael movie, and people are understanding him and understanding his music in a more profound way, and he's finally getting the justice that he deserved, where people are like, yeah, he would have never done something to a child. That was all lies, right? But it took him passing away, right? Because if he was still alive now, we would have had so much great music. But if he was still alive now, there would still be people, especially the media, that were against him, right? The people in the media with power, they would still be trying to bash his name any way that they could. They would not leave him alone. That's why he made that song. Don't just leave me alone, leave me alone, leave me alone, stop it, just stop dogging me around. Remember that music video? I actually love that song by him. But he made that song along with a bunch of other stuff, right? Talking about these people, the media, the news, making all this lies about him, right? They would have still been doing that. So his divine justice didn't come until 20 plus years after his passing. Now people are seeing him in a whole new light. And this generation of, like my generation, younger than me, I mean, even the people that were able to see him live and actually grew up with his music are now seeing him in a new light. They're like, wow, like I understand Michael in a more profound way. So his divine justice came years later, even after his death. And it also makes me think about people like Edgar Allan Poe. I wouldn't really say, I could say divine justice, but when I think about Edgar Allan Poe, which he is a poet, and I believe he's like an English poet. So Europe, right? In the late 1800s. So it's not like he was this popular, very famous man when he was alive writing these stories. But now, right, we read his stories And they've made, you know, movies about his videos, about his writings, and it's read inside schools and this that, and he's already gone, right? So his work didn't get the recognition that it deserved until after he was gone. So we have to understand that everything that we do, even if it's not getting the recognition that you feel it deserves, or that you or other people think that it deserves, whatever, doesn't mean that it won't. It just means that in divine timing and when divine justice takes its course, it'll all come to pass. And we see this time and time again. A lot of people don't get their divine justice till after they pass, like a lot, these famous people, right? But don't get me wrong, they have a good amount of, you know um people that are resonating with them when they're alive, and they're getting the recognition that they deserve while they're alive. But anyway, so that's really what I wanted. That's the message, you guys. That's the message. All right. So I hope that if you made it to the end, please let me know. All right. If you feel like you are aligned with divine timing, if you have recognized divine timing in your own life, let me know if you believe that you'll get divine justice in this lifetime, or when you already transcend to the next, right, phase of our spiritual journey. Okay. So leave a comment if you feel called to, and subscribe if you made it to the end and you resonate with this message and you want to hear more things like this from me. I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.